Mr. Cheng, what a pleasure to see you.
Nice meeting you too.
Thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule today. Tell me more about, under the current circumstances, how are you trying to see one step or even a few steps ahead? Because your company, as a technology company related, needs to be really prepared. So how does that work once again? You started from the very beginning of Foxconn until today. I'm sure you have a retrospective view of these constant changes, particularly recently.
Okay, so there's a couple aspects.
Yeah.
I think talents, talent is very important because you only rely on talent to grow all aspects what you want. So that's why we intend to, seriously, aggressively transform our employee in China to be more technician, more technology based. Number two is.
But that's not easy, isn't it?
I understand that. So that's why you need digitalization as a driver to be a platform, So you demonstrate a couple of cases to show them, they will see it and impress with the process they got involved. Listen, learn, right? Of course, there's a learning curve, learning process. But if you don't do it, it will never happen.
True.
So second thing is with the talent you have, you got to allocate them to different technology you need, or you even acquire the technology from outside, from the partnership you have, and to support your growth in the talent, your development of the talents. Number three is by leveraging the technology you have, we keep thinking about what product we should get involved. As a matter of fact, you can see the AI server. AI been driven, since this, beginning of this year.
Yes.
FI, as a leader of AI server manufacturer, we do not only get involved with manufacturing, but also design. So back to 2010, we started to work on an AI server study, and we shipped the first AI server to Microsoft and NVIDIA as a joint alliance on 2017 March 8th. So that supplied the first AI server for HPC for the high performance computing. So that is something we choose, and with a couple of years, with the successive investment we have with those R&Ds, we start seeing the return. Especially this year, we grow very fast in the AI server, segment. Also in the communication, the same. So, talent, technologies, products, all as a portfolio, you need to consider all. And at the end, the engineering is a culture. Is a culture. So you need to adapt the engineering culture to drive your manufacturing business. So that's why I think we keep growing. We always get challenging technologies, advanced process to help us out.
Yeah.
That's essential, and you have to be very patient.
And now this is a very critical time, isn't it? As you said, artificial intelligence is taking such a leap this year. And as a result of that, whoever being left behind will have no future. So this switch has to be very efficient and fast, especially for a company like yours. How is it happening right now? How are you looking at your quote-unquote competitors in different parts of the world?
Yeah, you're right. So usually in the industries, especially in electronics industries, if you've been in the industry segment as a number one, you're probably profitable. As a number two, probably you have some money to make. But if you play as a number three or behind that, you're probably waiting for acquisition, be merged. So to keep the momentum, again, we need to rely on the technology driven, and to drive, and also the automation.
Right.
So in the product direction, we drive all different engineers to develop different products to fulfill future demand. You need to predict what is going to happen for the application, and what product can you build with your core competence. For manufacturing, automation and AI had to be applied significantly. So if you look at the FII, among entire Foxconn group, we have 6 lighthouse factories. FII alone, we we have 2 in-house, and also the rest of 4 are all supported by ourselves. Having said that, we also support external companies, like Daikesto and so on, and also the Guangdong Automotive, IN, factory. So to doing that, then you can keep yourself, toward the advanced technologies, and you learn, and also you drive, you apply to your new business. Then you keep leading the market. So as a leader, you always have to create, other than just stay, and only invent can lead the successive growth.
So that switch is not necessarily an easy one, right? Because the final product is actually transforming. So what does that process for you so far mean as a leader of the company?
Mobile require very precise component technologies, and also the very precise final assembly test and pack process, which always give us a challenge for the 0 to 1. Also, when you build a consumer product like a smartphone, you got to make the consistency for 1 to 100 million units. So that's a know-how as well.
Yes.
By aggregating those know-how, as I mentioned, digitalization and platform you have are very important. So by leveraging that, you look at the EV industries. EV is in large tablet with a 4-wheel. Probably this niche, but too simple, But the EV, there are motors, because gas engine transformed to motors. You have battery, you have electrical systems. Actually, all of this has been our core, technologies. We get involved. Even though the compliance could be different, but that can be trained. And so by leveraging the experience and the technology we have in the mobile segment, we believe we can build an EV car at the quality level of smartphones.
Very briefly, were you nervous when you were trying to do this switch as a business leader?
I think nothing is easy, okay? But you have to get involved with that. As I mentioned, so this, of course, to keep driving the growth, you need a couple of methodologies. Usually, for the new business, we collect the information, very important. When you collect the technology information, collect the market information, collect the competition information, you got to divide them. Collect, divide, analysis, concur. Then, which built a consensus internally very strongly, because all the comments from everybody. So let every employee feel they got involved. That become their responsibility. So self-driven is going to be very important. So frankly speaking, I don't really panic or worry, but execution. So through the process of data collection, data analysis, and divide it and conquer, we always come up agenda or objective, which everybody toward the same direction. In a corporate like us, with such a scale, the direction is very important. Having said that, also the plan, do, check, action, recycle, circularity, to review this is very important. I think strategy, when it fix, it has to be very consistently drive. And the daily execution rely on plan, do, check, action. You keep doing this, you have to be very patient, doing all of this every day with all members, then calibrate the mistake.
Where is China in the map of the world, the area you are working on?
I think China is still our base, our foundation. Our country grew up 40 years ago from GDP maybe for the personal income probably like $1,000 up to $12,000. Of course, we cannot adopt the same methodology. We had to transform ourselves first. And keep ourselves in China, there are a couple of advantages, because of the infrastructure. China is not only the manufacturing base of the world, if you look at the last 40 years, the industry evolution in China, we grew up all tiers of talents. We grew up a very comprehensive supply chain. We create a lot of different new technologies. We invent lots of new applications. Not only in the internet application, but also you look at that EV.
Right.
When we talk about the gas car before, Chinese brand probably none of them is going to be one of top 10. But we talk about the EV, top 5 they are too.
Yeah.
So times change. So entire industrial structure, in China, I think is still very competitive. So as I mentioned, we take a Chinese base as our root. Then we develop the technologies. We build a case project first from 0 to 1. Then we diversify them to global, to face the regional economic challenge, right, to face the geographical politics conflicts, or even a new trade agreement. And that will help us out, keep rolling out our growth, keep rolling out our business penetration.
Any advice or any suggestion for your business peers around the world when they are looking at all these unpredictabilities and uncertainties right now?
I think both the enterprise had to keep growing their resilience in all aspects, but also have to work with the government. And governments. What I would say is with the government, come up a collaboration model and to support the requirement of economic growth, like the power, like the infrastructure, like net zero, carbon emission, all these topics. This require industry to collaborate with the government and industry to industry and country to country, right? So to doing this, then we probably can enhance the resilience of a corporate. And also the global logistics will be required to be developed more widely, and more resiliently, because I think the logistics also is a challenge. Logistics cost always a key. So how to optimize the business model with the logistics optimization will be very important to keep growth for the business.
Mr. Cheng, what a pleasure. I learned a lot. Thank you so much.
No. Yeah, I do my best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.